Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, everyone.
Good. Move to approve the July 14th.
Second.
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. Is there any public comment on any pending resolutions for today? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to resolutions. County Engineer, we have Dan Becker here.
Morning.
Good
morning.
Two resolutions for your consideration today. The first is approving the final plat for the Cobblestone Park Subdivision Phase 1 replat. And the second is accepting and awarding the project on Greenwich Road guardrail replacement rebid in Wadsworth Township.
Okay, we'll need to vote on these independently, I believe.
That's
so
right.
I make a motion to approve the final plat for Cobblestone Park.
I will second it. Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Abstain?
Sweattick?
Yes.
And I'll make a motion then to accept and award the bids for the project known as Greenwich Road guardrail replacement.
Second?
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Dan. Next up, we have Katie Masternick from Job and Family Services.
Good
Morning.
Morning.
All right, I have two resolutions for consideration today. The first is authorizing a renewal agreement for comprehensive case management program between Medina County Department of Job and Family Services and Tri-County Jobs for Ohio graduates. And the second is authorizing a continued contract between Medina County Job and Family Services and the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
I move to approve both resolutions.
Second?
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Next up, we have Holly Murin, Human Resources.
Good morning. On our personnel changes resolution today, we have 3 new hires, 2 in maintenance and 1 in transit, 10 rate increases, 3 in sanitary, 3 in job and family services, 2 in building, 1 in commissioners, and 1 in maintenance, 1 promotion in sanitary, 1 voluntary demotion in maintenance, 1 leave date correction in building, 1 return from leave in building, and 2 resignations, 1 in maintenance and 1 in transit.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Holly.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Brett Thomas, our Finance Director.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I have 8 resolutions for you, but they're pretty quick today. The first one is amending our appropriation measure resolution. Our second one is going to be transferring appropriations. And I'm going to talk about these actually all in bulk here at the end of our third one. Our third one is expenditure adjustments for various funds. We did have for the first 2 resolutions, we have our fourth resolution, sorry, that's actually the one that I will want to lump in here, is our cash transfers for various funds. Most of these cash transfers are just our standard movements. We have some movements for solid waste. I just wanted to highlight one particular one that is also part of our amendments for appropriations, and that is $106,000 that is moving out of the sheriff's donations account to refill for the fact of the purchase of the sheriff's consoles for dispatch. This was a rather large purchase, $170,000 some, to refit the consoles for the dispatch center. And so the sheriff had obtained some funding through the community, and we wanted to appreciate that and just make note of that moving from the donations account over into our accounts to pay for that bill. Our fifth resolution is creating the Sheriff's Motorcycle Safety Grant Fund. This is an annual one. This is fiscal year 27, authorizing appropriations in the amount of $65,362.50. Our sixth resolution is creation of the OCJS Office Violent Crimes Reduction Grant Fund, also an annual one for the amount of $27,000. Our seventh resolution is our expenses for county officials. We have nothing out of state this time. And our eighth resolution is our weekly bills in the amount of $1,689,406,080.
Move to approve the 8 resolutions.
Second.
Discussion?
Roll. Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Matt Springer, our county administrator.
Good morning.
I have 6 resolutions. The first one is authorizing the sheriff's office to add a forfeited vehicle to the county fleet. Second resolution is authorizing an agreement with Kone for the replacement of an elevator at the solid waste district. This is going to be split 50-50 with Rumpke per contract agreements. Third resolution is authorizing a change order associated with the engineering center roof replacement project. This is actually adding fall protection to the roof. This was a budgeted 2026 capital improvement. We're lumping it in with this project. Fourth resolution is similar. This is another change order associated with the juvenile detention center roof replacement. Similar to number 3, this is a fall protection. It's a budgeted 2026 capital improvement that we would add to these rooftops. The fifth resolution is authorizing a change order for the Engineering Center restroom renovation project. During construction, we discovered that there were a few interior walls that were not structurally sound and fastened, so we're making some correctional repairs there, and then making some adjustments to some of the ventilation ductwork while we're in there. And then the sixth and final is approving an amended agreement with GT Environmental. This is for the 5-year strategic plan that they're performing for the solid waste district. These professional consulting services would be at an additional charge of $7,355 for expanded services.
Move to approve the 6 resolutions.
Second.
Discussion?
On the GT Environmental, is that a result of kind of the shifting?
Yeah, back and
Focus,
forth and the
yeah.
additional, the additional changes.
I was curious about
Even before
that.
we came up with the other plan, she was putting in additional hours
Sure.
for some of the
And
information.
I think they've been with us since, the planning
Oh, yeah.
for this process began, so I certainly, that seems appropriate. I just
And
wanted
we
to
still have
confirm.
more than adequate balance, actually, in the budgeted amount for the plan. So we could still accommodate additional hours if so needed.
Further changes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Roll.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, we have department updates. First up, we have Matt, our chief building official.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, everybody got the reports I sent out last
Yes,
week? So just kind of going through a quick few of these numbers. Residential cost per home, it's down for the month of June, but up for the year still. So that's one that I know Richard used to always talk about that one. I'm kind of keeping my eye on. It's interesting how it does bounce around, and when things slow down in the fall, I'm hoping to kind of get a better handle on those numbers and figure out why it's so high. It's kind of crazy high, but the year-to-date number of residential permits are up 5% and commercial are up 6% from last year. So we're actually, I'll get to the receipts in a minute, but numbers-wise, we're even putting out more permits than we were last year at this point. And the total receipts are up 152,000 from last year, from this time last year, the year-to-date. So we're seeing those that trajectory we were expecting to see. Inspections, I mentioned last month, I was going to kind of start hitting on how many inspections we're doing to kind of show how busy my guys are out there. We had almost 1,400 inspections in June alone, and that's 5 full-time inspectors. They're out there doing a lot. That compares to about 1,200 in June last year. So even that they're keeping us busy out there. So due to that, we're actively hiring inspectors and hoping to beef that up, and that'll give us, help out in the field, which then in turn I can use in the office and get some of my inspectors doing some residential reviews to help out internally. So that's kind of what we're up to at the building department.
Well, I'll just comment, in looking at where the building permits were in June, it's mostly 22 out of the 38 of the new homes were in Montville. And I guess when you look at the various subdivisions, they're obviously not equal, especially if you start talking about a number of them coming in Sharon Falls. That kind of brings the number up compared to Cobblestone or some of the smaller
That average
footprints.
number doesn't surprise me. No,
Yeah.
when you see what's going up, it
Yep.
doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Montville was the only one in double digits on our new homes.
Yeah.
So there's quite a drop from them. But-
Yep. All right. Very good.
Thank you, Matt.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
Next up, we have Bethany Dentler from Economic Development.
Good morning. Maybe just to put a little bit more detail about what Matt was just sharing, I can confirm that through the first 6 months of 2026, Medina County's economic development activity has definitely accelerated. Countywide, we've seen commercial and industrial property owners, they have committed to more than $215 million in new capital investments, and we include machinery and equipment, real property, as well as property improvements there. By comparison, this year-to-date total is nearly twice the amount that we reported at the same point last year. With more than $27 million in new annual payroll, these committed projects are expected to create 360 new jobs in Medina County, which is 43% higher than the mid-2025 total. Some of the projects we're involved with that have been announced include EMH Crane, which broke ground on a 24,000 square foot expansion in the Liverpool Industrial Park. We've also seen the opening of Lifestone Ministries' new 50,000 square foot location in Granger Township. They moved down, I believe, from Cuyahoga County. And then there are other multiple developments in the Route 18 and Route 3 corridors particularly. The project pipeline also remains active. During the last reporting period, we responded with eligible Medina County sites to multiple state leads involving advanced manufacturing, aerospace, and defense. I would say that the 100 acres plus at the Commerce Park 71 in Harrisville Township has been submitted many times over the past few months. So there's continues to be great interest there. The business climate is positive overall, but it is not without warning signs. Shiloh Industries has announced the phased closure of its Valley City operation. It affects 43 workers beginning August 30th. Our Ohio Means Jobs office is connecting those employees with companies that are still hiring in the area. On the other side of the ledger, we met with the Sharon Township company who has plans to bring work back to the United States from China and Taiwan with the potential for quite a number of additional Ohio jobs. We're also working with the Development Finance Authority of Summit County. They just received approval to administer Foreign Trade Zone 181, which Medina County is still part of. But that particular tool gives local manufacturers a new way to perhaps reduce tariff burdens if that would be helpful. Manufacturing continues to carry an outsized share of our economy. There was a recent magnet survey that was presented to our manufacturing partnership. They report that Medina County's approximately 300 manufacturers employ more than 9,000 people and had roughly 800 job openings just late last year. Manufacturing represents about 15% of our county jobs, but it drives an estimated 45% of the county's economy. 57% of the surveyed manufacturers reported revenue growth of at least 5% last year, but they also reported worker shortages, retirement pressure, and continued uncertainty. In plain English, the sector is not weak, but it is, I'll say, capacity constrained, and they continue to watch costs very closely. Our business outreach reflects that same picture. We completed 72 business retention and expansion visits in the past quarter, and we've reached 70% of our annual goal of 200 visits, so maybe we need to up the goal maybe. Companies are still investing, as you've heard, but many are being deliberate about the timing. We're also seeing a lot of focus on automation. And all of that makes our work on infrastructure, financing, workforce, and regulatory coordination particularly important. The labor market remains extremely tight. The most recent county data available is for May 2026. It shows that Medina County's unemployment rate is 2.7%. This compares with 3.7% in May of last year. And obviously, we continue to stay well below the county's unemployment rate of 3.7%. So here are a few updates on our workforce programming that we're trying to implement in order to help companies find new pipelines of workers. Our Medina County Manufacturing Partnership worked with Ashland University in June to complete our second teacher boot camp. We had 14 Medina County educators go through the program. That was more than last year, and they earned 3 graduate credits from Ashland while learning directly from local manufacturers. We also had nearly 50 high school and middle school students participate in our revived manufacturing summer camp. They received hands-on exposure to local facilities and careers and kind of helped them see what well-paying career paths look like close to home. The end celebration, we were able to have quite a lot of parents come out, so it was good to have them kind of see and understand what we're trying to connect their students with. Our pre-apprenticeship completion report is being finalized. We expect more than 300 certifications for the school year, students who get those extra points towards graduation. The County Forward Fund also selected 17 work scholarship recipients who have entered the local workforce. We had 9 of them who were recognized at our summer social. Thank you all for being able to attend and celebrate with us. A quick report from our career coach. During the past school year, Mitchell has documented 422 individual student meetings across 8 school districts. It's quite a task there, but he was also able to support 7 major career events that reached approximately 1,250 students, including 4 career fairs, 2 mock interview programs, and a healthcare expo. In addition, we now have 215 students using the U-Science online platform to help identify their aptitudes and explore career matches. A few other updates on our activities. The Medina County Land Bank has continued closing on the new Habitat for Humanity homes using the Welcome Home Ohio grant programs. We have purchase agreements being finalized for 4 additional homes. We've had 2 sales earlier this summer. We also have several new opportunities to bring properties off the tax foreclosure list and bring them up to productive uses. We shared with the board on Monday that we're looking at applying for a 3rd round of Welcome Home Ohio grants with particular emphasis on purchasing properties or bringing properties off of the foreclosure sales so we can get those back into productive use. The Transportation Improvement District, a quick update. The City of Brunswick received a $500,000 state roadwork grant that will benefit the Brunswick Industrial Park. On the Port Authority side, we've been submitting multiple grant reimbursements for there are several different rounds going on for our building demolition and brownfields program. We do expect a new state brownfields funding round open later this month, hopefully soon. And we've got a number of Medina County projects that we're preparing for their consideration. The Jobs and Commerce Grant we received, the Port Authority was approved for a $374,000 grant from the Ohio Department of Transportation, and we're using that for road improvements for an expanding company in Granger Township. The Energy Special Improvement District Board met to approve a $1 million PACE financing package that is supporting a $4 million commercial investment in Sharon Township. So we're continuing to work with the township through that process. Before I wrap up, I wanted to mention a state law change that has complicated our work with economic development incentives. This includes the Community Reinvestment Area property tax abatements. Ohio Revised Code Section 9.66D specifically, it was enacted late last year and made effective this March. It makes virtually any information submitted to an economic development official like myself, if they're asking for economic development assistance, most of that is now confidential. It includes the routine project facts that we have historically discussed publicly, such as projected job creation and capital investment. That code change also creates the potential for criminal exposure for economic developers or other county officials who then disclose that information. Over the past month, the legislature has narrowed the categories of information that they now consider confidential, which always used to be a public record, but that correction doesn't take place until September 23rd. So for the time being, that's what the code says currently, any economic development assistance information that is submitted to political subdivisions and their agents, it's confidential and not a public record under the Ohio Public Records Act. So I'm sharing this with you because
Why did they feel that was necessary? Such a broad.
they slipped it in December under the Name, Image, Likeness Act, and our profession didn't even realize it had happened until like April. And then everybody's like, what is happening here? So we've been trying to seek legal counsel, and what we've been advised is that we now obtain waivers from incentive applicants. So I'm going to update all of the county's CRA application materials, even though, the fix is in, should help quite a bit by the end of September. If I disclose that information, say, on a post 94 report that I then have the housing councils meet and approve next year, if that information was gathered during that time period, it opens up to a lot of liability. So unfortunately, it adds a very uncomfortable layer of bureaucracy to our business attraction and retention work. It turns what should be a welcoming, business-friendly conversation into something that might sound like a prescription drug commercial, because we have to supply legal disclaimers before we can get to the part where we can actually help the company. This is not the kind of helpful economic development approach that we have cultivated over decades in our community, and I'm very disappointed that the state legislature has tied our hands this way.
Is there any way to get it amended during lame
Well,
duck?
Yeah, that's what they're trying
They
to work
need
on
to, they need to keep
redefine
working
it.
on it. They've made one fix, but they need to make some more fix. Nonetheless, we will do our best to continue helping companies work their way through these requirements so that we can continue focus on and growing.
Anecdotally, the suggestion is that it was I'll just say, an adverse reaction to pushbacks on data centers. Basically, they were there's too many deals were out there that were being revealed, incentive programs, and there was a significant pushback that they didn't want those non-disclosure agreements and so forth. So they basically were almost criminalizing releasing that information that ended up showing that some communities made some really bad deals long-term.
Because I'm remembering, was it the last CRA process we went through where we had executive session where we had very specific language we had to reference regarding the investments and the financial plans and that was in the pre-world, right? Because it was a very narrow exception for those economic development discussions. So I was thinking maybe this was an attempt to solve for some of that, but it
I don't
doesn't sound
know.
like it's done that either. So
It's contradictory because what we have always done is when we get the CRA applications, which does have broad, high-level payroll and investment and job numbers, we have to notify the school districts of that information. And so now, before I can even notify the school districts per Ohio Revised Code, I now have to get a waiver from the company to be able to send it. It's contradictory, and it needs to be fixed.
And we could use the information in making our decision, but we cannot explain that to the public.
yeah, and that's the part that's the part I have a problem with is that the information that we owe to the public it does not extend to, nor should it include, the financial information of the developers and things like
And
that.
it doesn't.
And it
It
hasn't
never
before.
does.
Right.
But when they try to fix that and then tie our hands and say, well, we can't even talk about the things that we see as the benefit to justify the decision, that
much
closes
for transparency.
Well, it's not
anti-transparent.
transparent.
Yeah.
There has never been an issue with saying, here's how many jobs we want to create, here's how much payroll those jobs will create, and here's the capital investment.
Yep.
There has never been a problem with that.
And I'd have a hard time supporting something if we weren't able to make that case to the community in the process of supporting tax incentives that otherwise could be very controversial.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So it's still an issue, and we're working our way carefully through it, but at the moment, it just means an increased level of bureaucracy and time that I now have to spend updating everything and making conversations more difficult.
Right.
So, but I will end with some of the great events that we're preparing for in the coming months. Looking beyond this summer, we are excited to launch a 4-session Lunch and Learn series this fall that will be focused on practical applications in artificial intelligence, helping our local businesses use technology with and giving them very practical advice. We're also planning our National Manufacturing Day celebrations in October. The first Friday in October will be considered Made in Medina County Day. We'll still have a full schedule of plant tours available that day, but the manufacturers have requested additional dates throughout the month that they'll be open for plant tours. And so we'll be, once we get those confirmed, we'll be sending out registration later this summer. And save the date for our annual Medina County Business Awards. It will be held on Thursday, October 29th at the Blair Center. We've been interviewing some fantastic nominees, so I don't think you're going to want to miss that. So that's my report.
October 29th. Thank you, Bethany. Okay, where are we? We do have a commissioner resolution approving appointments to the Medina County Community Corrections Planning Board.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion? Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. Do we have any public comment? Okay. County Recorder, do we have anything?
No, thank you. Looking forward to seeing folks at the county fair in a couple weeks.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, Steve?
Oh, did you want to bring up the
Yeah,
county home donations?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll go
Okay.
last. Go ahead.
All right, I'm just asking that we have, on August 18th, if we could move the commissioners' meeting back to 10 a.m. rather than 9:30. There's the ribbon cutting, opening of the Cleveland, I guess, is it HVAC or their construction arts? With one of their buildings
Yeah.
over there, the Career Center.
It's the new one.
Yeah, exactly. The second new one, maybe.
Right.
But I think, we want to certainly be there
And
and be
their
able
event
to
starts at
attend.
8:30, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So I just was giving us a half hour, and if you don't mind, we can.
We rarely do that, so I'm
know,
glad for
but in this
us
case,
to-
we-
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
glad to do
no.
it for this.
Yeah, that way we can.
Are you okay with that, Aaron?
I'm fine with that.
All right, we will get that change on the schedule.
And I wanted to update you, probably already read the news articles about the solid waste plan update. We did present our option where essentially the city will not receive a waiver. That version, after some discussion, voted 4-1 to circulate that for the public comment. Public comment, as soon as we receive the final document from our consultants, that'll be circulated. We'll be making sure that it gets on the website. We're going to, of course, email copies and download copies to all the various jurisdictions, make it available to the county libraries. I think we're also going to do a public notice likewise. So we'll be providing the opportunity in August all the way till the end of September for public comment, and that includes elected officials as well as, and jurisdictions, as well as anyone regarding that proposal. We'll be preparing an executive summary because it's a rather lengthy document, and I think highlight some of the items that were decided upon for public comment. And we'll see how that goes from there. The no vote was obviously Brunswick, and I know you've read the comments from some of their officials. And I'll just point out, we did have discussions, sit-down discussions with the vice mayor and with the city manager, Barb Walton, myself, and Adam Frederick at one point in time. And then we asked prior to the meeting and this most recent reading, we had asked for their proposals. Those proposals that we ended up sharing with everyone came through their attorney to our prosecutor's office with the direction that any communication will have to go through the attorneys. And so I know their public comments is, why didn't we pick up a phone? Why didn't we talk to them? We did talk to them, but then they communicated back. They only wanted communication through their attorney. That's why we essentially took the route we did. So we're not adverse to continuing to sit down and talk about the conditions that they might anticipate, but obviously that'll have to be part of the public discussion and transparency. The committee will have to then make a decision as to what plan, based upon public comment, we would then put up for public hearings, and then we'd have to decide what changes we might want to put out there for ratification. So that's where we're at with that.
Appreciate the update.
Sure.
Karen, do you have anything?
I don't have anything new this week. No.
Matt, do you have anything? Okay, I do have a couple of updates with regard to the fair, and I do see we have some Fair Board people here, so thank you so much for coming. The first is Rhonda did some research for me to look specifically what we did last year. We talked about contributing some money towards the processing fees for the larger animals when the animal is donated to the county home, seeing that does help the county home's budget. We so appreciate the donation. It does help their food budget. So last year we did $50 towards the processing of a hog and $100 for cattle. Are you guys okay with those numbers
Sure.
again this
Yep.
year? Okay, so I
Absolutely.
will call Mike Gall and let him know that, and then I will also have Brian get a letter out to Joe Unks detailing our appreciation and the contribution we will make towards those processing
It
fees.
demonstrated when we did that, it did actually increase the amount of
Yes.
contributions.
Yes, it was awesome.
Benefit for the
Is-
county home.
Is Joe still the president?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, you've been to more meetings than
Yeah.
Yeah, you would know that.
Okay, second, the Fair Board is, looking to do part of their master policy plan after the fair is over, and in collaboration with the Fair Board and Dave Wadsworth and the county, Dave Wadsworth has, graciously used the title fund several times for capital improvements in the county. The last couple were the Veterans Building and a couple of projects for the sheriff. So we are going to transfer $400,000 from the auto title fund, again with Dave's collaboration, towards their first project off their master policy plan. It was a wonderful meeting. We were very excited, and Brett is going to get a transfer resolution made for us, transferring the money out into a fund that we would then pay a capital project for. In addition, I've asked Brett this morning to start researching the possibility of a loan where the county would pay itself back through the Fair Board at a better interest rate than they potentially could get out in the open market. So Brett is going to spend the next couple weeks researching a structuring of that we would then discuss with the Fair Board and see if it would be something that they would want to do. So all good stuff, all exciting stuff as we look forward to the fair. Denise, did you have anything else?
We are just so appreciative. We are just so appreciative.
I'm so glad.
This is just.
We need to get it.
Yeah.
Do you want to come up and?
Yeah.
They don't hear you if anything that you've said.
You want to describe the project that you're talking about, the funding for? Okay, thank you.
She doesn't want to, but she
doesn't
will.
want-
That's what
no,
she's.
you can just say what you just said, and that's enough.
No, I don't want to let you down in any way.
You're not letting us down.
No, I'm not here with my list of notes and that. I came to observe, and I watch you on TV quite a bit, but I've never been here in this room, so that's why I wanted to proceed with that. We are so enthusiastic about it. We're bursting. We want to share this with everyone, and of course, after our meeting last week, it was just like a thumbs up and be quiet, you know.
Yeah,
So-
of course, we'd
I
like to announce
understand.
everything to the two commissioners before the rest of the world.
Right,
So, all good.
right. So we are going to hopefully proceed with our next project, our next big project, which will be new restrooms to replace, or maybe we might refurbish the old ones a little bit, but to really make them handicapped accessible and accessible in the main part of the fairgrounds, because what we call our new restrooms, I know they were there when I became a member of the board 30 years ago. So, our new restrooms are a little bit old. And in connection to that building, right there in the central part, we're going to take down the little ticket booth that we have, where we sell concert tickets and any grandstand tickets. We are also going to add some space for our junior leaders and our junior fair board for meeting, for storing of supplies, because they're our future. So we want to take care of them, and we really want them to become a part of this. And we have been working feverishly with Colleen when we hired the strategic, we didn't, Colleen hired the commissioners,
the board.
Commissioners hired the strategic planner. And we have had numerous meetings, and that was just, to what are we going to do next with our facility, and the next time a grant comes around, we really want to have our ducks in a row and be ready to present it, because this was a little bit of a struggle meeting the deadlines and getting all the information we needed. So.
Very good.
Thank you.
So
Great.
I wanted to hear this in person rather than on TV.
Oh,
So that's why I
good.
came
And you
today.
explained
Thank
it
you.
wonderfully. Perfect. And then an acknowledgement to Bethany. She is hopefully going to try to move along the next round
the
of
brownfield
brownfield grants
for the
for this
demolition of these current
project.
ones.
So that's great too. Yeah, but
But
Right.
the one building we have not used in years because it is in such poor shape, and it's right there in the center of the fairgrounds. So it needs to move on.
Very good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you,
We look forward to
Denise.
seeing you in a couple weeks.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else?
Just a question. When the building department gave the report,
Mhm.
did they give the average price now of the current home?
Yes.
They said something in general.
Would you like,
but
you can have my report.
It was on the report, but I
Yeah.
don't think they mentioned it.
Because I
Yep.
think that ought to be public.
Oh, it is, oh, it is, it is, sorry,
It's
yeah.
public online.
Yeah,
So the question was
The
the
report
average.
goes online.
right. And the fact is, the two subdivisions in Montville Township are both high-end subdivisions. Like the Bates subdivision in Seville is completed. They built 300 and some
Right.
homes
Oh, yeah.
in
Oh, indeed.
4 years.
Yeah.
And those were the moderate homes that Ryan was building.
Right.
You know, so that dramatically affects it.
Well, the
And the
number's
same
not
up in Valley
surprising.
City.
Yes, it's not surprising number at all.
No, not at all.
The average cost for June was $355, and the average cost year to date is $355, $185. Average cost of new home year to date is $462, $715. So I don't think those were meant, but they are on the report. So.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
just
give you my
making the point
reports,
is, not all subdivisions are equal in terms
No,
of the market.
exactly.
Right. And that's why he was mentioning about the fluctuation month to month. And in some months, it's, you might get like Lodi up, or Montville, or Sharon, and that'll be different than, obviously, the others.
And then I had a question for
Sure.
Bethany.
Yeah.
Are there grants available for the electric grid upgrade potentially in the Lodi area? Because as you know, we just lost a sale for $700,000 cash on a 26-acre parcel zoned commercial because electric wasn't available for that site. And the other thing is, there seems to be some need for coordination with the zoning and planning people. It was for another regional trucking firm like Snyder National to come to Medina County, and it was a cash deal, and it was killed because even their zoning doesn't allow that to go, even though it's right next to the truck stop, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Zoning is definitely another issue that we're looking at. But in terms of the
She
grant,
needs Mike. You need Mike.
Because that's Lorraine Rural Electric said they
Lorraine,
couldn't
right.
furnish electric, even though I had a hotel there for 40 years that had 25 rooms, and they were furnishing the electric.
yeah, we're aware of some of the capacity constraints around electric, and Lorraine Medina Rural Electric has a policy that if they're constrained, then there has to be a user who is going to be willing to make the investment to increase the grid. But there are other resources. If there is a developer who is willing to put some money into a project, then the Jobs Ohio has a program called the Ohio Site Inventory Program that does invest in partnership with the developer in infrastructure for speculative developments. So there are some things out there, but it depends on the particular circumstances. If you've got a developer interested in building it so they can attract the kind of users that Jobs Ohio wants to attract, then they do have an opportunity to invest or get a grant to invest in some of these infrastructure upgrades.
And I want you to know, I made application for that 4 years in a row and never had an opportunity to, receive a grant whatsoever. So I'm just saying, we just need to aggressively look at that. That's an area that needs to have some development and some tax value increase. And there was an opportunity for an investment of over $3 million the company was going to make for that regional center there, in addition to buying the land.
Definitely. I mean,
So
the electric
I'm just
capacity is
concerned,
an
and there's
issue.
got to be a way to address this.
Yeah.
Now, part of it, as I understand it, was also the availability of substation equipment. There was a backlog because of the
Yeah.
data center surge, has basically made it more difficult for others that don't have, if you
Yeah,
will.
about a year ago, we were talking with LMRE about an opportunity to upgrade a sub, and they said even if we wanted to, it would take 7 years to get the equipment because it's all sitting in a warehouse in Columbus.
And to be fair, that's not just an LMRE
Oh, agreed.
area
It's
issue.
it's statewide, it's probably
statewide.
nationwide.
And elsewhere
yeah.
in Medina County, I've had other deals or potential deals in kind of private sector
Yeah.
that I've been aware
I
of.
mean, the
that it
truth
never
is-
came to fruition because of those same
Yeah,
limitations.
I mean,
so.
the truth is that large national hyperscale data centers, they have the resources to be able to take their money and literally, buy all of the equipment that's needed just for ordinary industrial infrastructure. So it's a problem.
Well, First Energy, when we did that one meeting in Liverpool, but basically said they've got the cash, they get the priority.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
I would say, the fundamental problem when public utilities are allowed to
to essentially pick and choose who gets that extra service based on who's willing to foot the
Yeah.
bill for it, because you'd think a public utility would be the one who'd be footing the bill for the upgrades where they become necessary. So
It's changed.
I realize that's not realistic when everybody needs what, historic volume and supply that we've just not seen before. But it's unfortunate because it is, to Stan's point, I think we're going to continue to see that tying our hands when there are people who want to come here for all the other reasons why industry would come to Medina County, and we're not able to deliver on that. So if we could be a little, kind of anticipating some of those opportunities to improve those things, that'd be great.
It's in our strategic plan.
Thank you.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Roll?
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes. We will see you all next week. Thank you.